Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel to the another podcast where we dive deep into the world of engineering, placement, and everything in between. I'm Priyanka, pursuing information science and engineering degree in RV College, Bangalore. And today we are doing things a little differently. If you think placements are just about coding challenges, high paying jobs, and sleepless nights, think again. Today, I'm along with our guest Shreenidhi, are going beyond the traditional talk. We'll be discussing everything from managing stress, high salary, or a job that truly satisfies you. Should you choose startup or a well-established company, soft skills, and many more. Without wasting time, let's get started. Hello Srinidhi, welcome.
Hey, hey Priyanka.
What's up? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also good. Can you please give me a brief introduction about yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Shreenidhi TL. I'm working at Greenlight right now, and I'm working as an associate software developer. And I'm working in the backend platform team right now, and I'm trying to groom into a full stack developer as I go through in my career.
That's nice. That's great, Srinidhi. So, congrats for that then.
Thanks.
Yeah. So let me give the brief introduction about Srinidhi. Actually, Srinidhi is my senior who is who has done information science in RV College itself and 2024 batch out. So actually, he was the vice president of Coding Club RVCE. So Srinidhi TL is an active and accomplished individual with a diverse portfolio of technical and academic contributions. He has participated in prominent hackathons, including the Music's Blockchain Hackathon and IEEE Hacks for SOC, etc., and has contributed to quantum computing, education through multiple speaking engagements, and many more. Srinidhi was the vice president of a coding club at RVCE, and he has led initiatives like Sail the Sea of C and organized events such as hackathons and coding challenges. His projects work spans network security, gene technology, and student management systems. Additionally, he has undertaken impactful internships and published research in Scopus Indus journals. I again welcome you, Srinidhi, for this podcast.
Thank you.
Srinidhi, can you share how was your engineering journey throughout your 4 years? How was it?
I would say it was very enlightening for me,
Mm-hmm.
and like if I imagine myself going as a first year guy and then coming out as the person as in fourth year. I can see that person learned a lot in life, more than learning a lot in engineering. I mean, it taught me a lot about how do I approach things in a better way, and it taught me that I had so much potential inside. Like I never knew that I could do so many projects or attend work for some clubs and then explore things that I don't think I would have ever imagined that I could have been the vice president of a student club, because I was such a introverted guy. I never used to talk to anyone that much, and I had a very lesser friend circle. And I always thought I was a closed person, that I was not open up to anyone. And and I never thought I was intellectually that good also. I mean, so by and I always worked hard for something, and then eventually used to get not that a good result. But
Mm-hmm.
then now engineering taught me a lot about how do I approach things and how do I strategize and all that. So I learned a lot out of it.
Nice, nice, great. Srinidhi, my first question is everyone talks about cracking a high paying package, but does it really guarantee happiness or job satisfaction? So, what it is according to you, your perception?
uh, High paying packages, like what everyone or anyone who is studying engineering, or like at least aiming to for JEE exams or something like that, aims for in their initial early days. I mean, uh, it is all related to their perspective of money, uh, as to me. But as much as money is important in life, you also have other things that if you are not interested in the role that is intended for that particular package, maybe you will find yourself in a difficult situation. So it is all related to what role they are in. They are in the corporate, and then what is that? are they enjoying their everyday process of working in that role? If that is good, I guess any package for that matter will be really good for them.
Okay, then what are the other factors that students should focus on apart from the salary?
Uh, right now, if you ask me, I'll say Bangalore traffic. Like, like the amount of traffic you have to go through and where the office is in Bangalore, and then I guess that is the biggest thing they should be worrying about. I guess because the amount of traffic in Bangalore is crazy,
Is
and
it?
then
Why? Because even though the if the office is offering the good package itself, so we should keep the
first you have to
traffic
get
in
to
mind.
office. First, you have to get to office na, to work.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
half of the time, I can see a lot of colleagues like who are
Mhm.
spending half of their time in cabs and all that. I mean,
Mhm.
keeping the joke apart, like I guess the other factors would be again the same thing would be job description and role. That is one main thing that they should keep in mind when they're
Mhm.
applying for any kind of job. Uh, but other than that, too, I mean, like it's all about their personal choice. It's also about job location. I also have a friend who is like working in Delhi, like, and he
Mhm.
has family in Bangalore. So like all of that also matters. So all of these, but most of them are non-controllable. But for some other factors which they should be looking out for is basically these: that job location and then their role and description. uh, that should match their interest, and they should know what they are going to do in the next period of times. And some
Mhm.
of them will also have masters in their mind and all that. And so they should you should at least have a brief idea of how you're going to take your career forward
Mhm.
if you're choosing that particular role. I guess how you I guess that part also is important.
Yeah, truly true, true, true. So about that location, though they are getting good package means they can make a flat or they can find a good PG nearby itself. No?
I mean, yeah, that is again subjective. I mean,
Yeah.
I have gone roamed streets of Marathalli
Uh-huh.
and near that area for PGs,
Mhm.
and I can't tell about experiences and like and then how I found PGs there to be.
Okay.
Again, I guess this is a whole different story for a podcast, but still,
Yeah, that's
uh,
fine.
I mean, like places I have roamed places near Hudi, near Madhepura, near Marathalli, like because that is the where most of the companies are, and then the kind of streets they have, and then the kind of beaches there are kind of questionable. I mean, for whatever money you're giving. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, about the next question is besides coding skills, what other skills like soft skills, for example, networking, that may be problem solving or even extracurricular activities. So, do you think which one played a major role in landing your placement and which soft skills everyone should grow to get good placement?
Okay. But in regarding to placement too, I have only one thing. So like,
Mm-hmm.
what companies come for is basically problem solving skills. I guess this is what every most almost any senior you talk to says,
Mm-hmm.
that companies just hire people for problem solving skills. So you need to have good problem solving skills. That is one thing. And soft skills should be communication. How you communicate during your interview, and then how do you interact with people when you're stuck with some problem. uh, so all of that matters. Those are the two main things that they see, at least in a fresher when they're hiring, is what I felt. And also during my interview experiences, that is what mattered, I guess. Like how people you know responded to when they're lost figuring out a solution, and how they communicated with the interviewer, and
Mm-hmm.
then and how much knowledge in depth did they have while they're trying to solve a problem, and then how they applied that knowledge is what mattered. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the three things that I feel were gauged when I was interviewing for any company.
Okay, so in this, can you explain or could you wish to share any of your interview experience in short?
Okay, so I can share the green light interview itself.
Mm-hmm.
This was very interesting because I didn't think I would get into green light, because they had shortlisted some people for the exam, and then the exam was at around 8. And then during the interview, at the second or third round, I guess I felt like I did bad. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this round was bad, and I'm going to get thrown out of this process. Uh, but then but then and I actually didn't complete the solution for that question what was asked. But then I guess the way I had answered that question, it was a standard lead code hard question.
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't remember the exact question, but like it was directly asked out from Lead Code Hard. But then I think the way I approached or the way I put out my solution was better, I guess. And then yeah, I made it through, and then now I'm working at doing right now. So and then also in the HR rounds and then in the other rounds, there were also questions about how would you, you know, escalate problems if you have ones in your company. I guess that also talks a lot about what your character is. Like, how do
Mhm.
you value people who have more software experiences? In the HR round, where I was asked about how would I deal with a problem if I have a problem and I have to escalate it to people, how would I do it if it was a person with a very who's a senior and who has worked in corporate for a lot of years, and then how would I do it for a person who is not a senior or who's a fresher of my same level? How would I talk to them about this problem and all
Okay.
that? So it was more of uh, it was more of like they are interviewing your complete qualities, like also like you mentioned, both the soft skills about communication and also about the problem solving. I guess
Hmm.
those were the two main factors of that interview.
Oh, that's really great. Thanks for sharing your experience. Means a lot. So my next question is, how did networking and socializing helps in engineering or getting good package again?
Okay, networking and socializing in engineering is kind of vital because you get opportunities like that.
Hmm.
I don't think you get opportunities if you don't network out, and like no one's going to reach out and say, hey bro, I have to do this, like can you please help or something. So
Hmm.
unless you network and you know people who are doing things, you won't get opportunities to explore a lot of things. One of them was student clubs. Like I found crazy seniors like who are like at another level, and I would have not even known certain things that I know right now. You might be hints or tips to approach things, or maybe technologies or some software that I had never used. So so networking helps a lot, and student clubs and college are actually made for that same thing, so that you reach out and you like collaborate with people, and then you interact with them, and then you get to know a lot of stuff and you learn and move forward, rather than doing it all on your own and taking a lot of time.
Yes,
So
yes,
it actually adds a lot of value to you.
yes, yes, truly agree. So, okay, about placements, you know that you have gone through placement preparation, everything. So, placements are literally insane and stressful, as I saw through the third year, fourth year people. So, how did you manage your mental health during this time?
Okay. I know stress management during placement will be very tough,
Mm-hmm.
because, and I'm a lucky person in that aspect because I got placed early in the placement season, and I have friends who have got placed in like the last weeks of placement and all that, and who have seen everyone getting placed one by one, and then they got placed someday. So it's all about just one lucky day, and I
Mm-hmm.
think patience is key, and you should be less anxious about your entrance tests and exams. And I guess the way you can do that is to take feedback from seniors, give mock interviews to seniors or your batchmates who got placed. Ask them about where you're missing out, or what can you improve in your how you're presenting yourself when you're interviewing. I guess that is one way of getting constant feedback and then improving day by day. I guess that is a very good way in which you can stay calm in the chaotic process.
Yes, yes. Actually, engineering teaches us how to be patient and how to manage stress and all. Right. So, in this busy stress and all, we should hope for that one day. Imagining we placed, though our friends, like the stress will be because our friends, everyone will be placed, but we were not getting placed. So, which leads the stress. But as you are saying, we should hope for that one day, right? So, at the
Yeah,
last, where we will be placed. Okay. So,
yeah,
moving
everything will go
forward,
good.
yeah. So moving forward, about your internships, can you share like how many internships you have done, and how important? What is the importance of the internships in securing the high package?
Uh, okay. Honestly, I don't think internship and high package ka part is related. But
Okay.
internships give a good experience to you regarding corporate life and how companies work.
Mm-hmm.
And in that also, like you'll be getting a very short glimpse of it. Uh, so I have done one internship at HP, where I came for CTY. I guess it was Capture Them Young program.
Mm-hmm.
I did one internship there. So that internship, I got to learn a lot of things about what kind of projects they do in that division, and then and there were also mentors who used to give a lot of suggestions, and then try to ask us about what we are thinking at multiple points. So you will try to get a glimpse of how projects and initiatives work in a corporate level. That's a small insight to that. And that's an always added bonus that you can talk about your internship and what you learned and how did you approach that issue in your interview experiences.
Then don't it be added plus point if we have done some internships and if we sit for placements, won't it be a bonus point?
Yes, it would be a bonus point, and then it would be a credible. There'll be a lot of credibility if you tell that, but it doesn't mean that a person who has no internships will never get into a good company. That is a very bad assumption to make. Like,
Okay.
so internships do add some value, but if you don't get one, also it's not a big deal. At least like at college level, if you don't get an internship in your second year at the end when the internship season starts, that's not a bad thing. Even if you have 2 to 3 good projects and then you have good amount of basic knowledge about whatever you are saying in your interview, it's more than enough.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. Then what did you learn during your internships?
uh, Learning an internship was more focused on the problem statement only. I was actually I got a my team in internship was assigned the work from the uh, which division was that? High performance computing one. HPC is what they called it.
Hmm.
Uh, so related to that, I did a lot of research, how that works and how systems at their work and how they're building systems there.
Hmm.
We didn't get access to their code base and all, but technically we learned about how high performance systems get built, and then what is our project is what is our approach of our project, and what is the problem that we are trying to solve in that environment. And then it always also it you kind of learn a lot about how to work with teams, because we had a lot of people from other branches also coming in who are not our friends, and then like you learn about how to go through a project in teams. And I know how engineering projects work. If they're EL ones, there'll only be one guy who will be doing it, and then you'll be standing in for presentations. So there it matters, right? How you communicate with people who you don't know, and then you pull out a project. That is one thing that I learned from that internship.
Hmm. Then what and all side projects that you have done and how this helped you to get noticed by the recruiters like that? About projects if you want to speak that you have done.
Side projects are done. Most of the side projects were just explorations. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would say, if when I was doing compiler design, even though we didn't have compiler design lab, and CS people had it, so I was just curious about what are these people doing. So I just tried to use a Lex program. I wrote multiple Lex programs, and then uh, I had Linux was one subject, I guess, in our time. So no one bothered to, we didn't have any lab component for it basically. But then I tried doing some open stack thing where we can allocate resources and spawn out instances on our local machine and all that. But I didn't mention most of them in my resume, I guess, because those were very small explorations. But I would take them as more as they enriched my knowledge about computers. And I was a more interested guy like that. I was more curious about learning all that. So yeah. But in interviews, if you say many people I've seen doing personal projects like web projects, because in internships, if you go to some company, they'll have a proper tech stack that you have to use. And but I know some people who just explore frameworks like React or Angular or all that. So those will add some value. Like some most of them are being used. Uh, like React Native and React will get you are being used at an industry level for many companies. So if your company is actually working on a tech stack of which you say you have made a project about, you might get lucky and the interviewer might ask you some questions related to that. So that will be some brownie points. So they might add some value like that. But for me, it didn't happen like that.
Oh, okay. but still it gave you a lots of experience and knowledge with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Linux as a whole has like given a lot of things for me. I mean, like I never knew how open source software work, or how kernels worked, all that,
Mm-hmm.
all kind of stuff. And I would never have had an open understanding of operating systems if not I had explored Linux properly.
True, true. By listening to you, I'm also thinking that I also should explore all the stuff. Since in second year, operating system, everything is there for us.
I mean, yeah, yeah. As a student, you have a lot of time, right? Like, I
Yes.
mean, and there are very less curious people around in engineering. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's a sad thing, but still, yeah. But only like you can think that okay, maybe I'll just learn something for new, and I guess that's a personal interest, but still, you
Yeah,
can
really
try and.
inspiring by the way. Okay, so how do you feel about the importance of having a solid portfolio or a GitHub to showcase your skills?
If you are into open source contributions, I guess that's a requirement. And like I think there are many people who are doing Hacktoberfest very seriously, and then there were many people who were trying for GSOC. When I was in college, I had
Mm-hmm.
many seniors who were doing that. So open source contributions are actually kind of valuable, and that will help you throughout your career, and you can get to know the whole process of what you're eventually trying to do by learning all this. Like you learn all this in about computers, and eventually you'll try to do contribute something to somewhere, some project somewhere. That is also what you do in corporate, right? So you'll get one small experience about maintaining that portfolio in GitHub, and that actually adds value to it. You can do that, but I never was into open source contributions.
Mm-hmm.
That and but I know some people who have had a lot of plus point just because they were doing open source. Yeah.
Okay, then what about the solid portfolio?
Uh, Portfolio. I never had a portfolio website because I thought
Resume, yeah.
resume was fine enough.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the interviewer would rely a lot on resume only, and then you can actually make highlight many things on your resume rather than having a separate portfolio. But I think this is very very subjective, I guess, and very very situational. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for an off-campus job, I guess having a portfolio is a must. Like if I
Okay.
was looking for an off-campus job or an off-campus internship or something, then
Mm-hmm.
people would take a lot of time to look at what you're trying to do, what are your projects, and all that. So, but on campus, you basically get like what a very less amount of time to to get looked at, and portfolio would not always be looked at. I'm not sure, but if you're applying for off-campus once, then having a solid portfolio is very important. But I never tried that.
Then what and all you had in your resume then? What should be must in to include in resume?
Uh, and resume, I guess projects,
Mm-hmm.
two main projects, which you have completely know what you did, and then uh, what kind of tech stacks you used, and what was the problem, and what was the solution, and then how much did that solution work, a metric of that. So quantifying all that is important, and then basic knowledge about tech stacks. I think I had a section where I mentioned these are the things I know, and I'm sure that I know. And then as an added bonus, I also put experiences you can always put for if you are in student clubs or like basically that. And then I guess another added value is the papers, research papers. And some people are publishing papers. You can just put that as an added value. The main thing is about you getting a problem, you identifying a problem somewhere, and then building a solution, and then how much of that solution actually mattered and helped solving that problem. Indicating that was a very big thing in resume, I guess.
So yeah, nice. Thank you by the way for sharing the things that should be included in resume. So moving forward about imagine if you are getting a multiple offers. So what was it like juggling multiple offers? How did you decide which company was the right fit for you? So how would you make a decision? Or if you had got the multiple offers, like how did you choose this?
Okay, I think I'm not the right person for this because I never got multiple offers.
Okay.
Oh, so like I literally don't know. But maybe I'll try looking up at the what is the company doing. and what is the role more about, and then what are the perks. Obviously, you'll be looking at what you'll be getting, and then what is your component and all that.
Hmm.
I mean, with that much amount of information, I guess you'll be able to sort out things.
Okay, fine. Then, how did you keep learning and improving your coding skills outside the college curriculum?
Okay, so
Along
then
with that, you can share your coding journey.
okay, a coding journey as such, I was in ICSE, so
Okay.
I started with Blue Jay things. If you know, I think ICSE people would be relating to it. So I had Java,
Hmm.
Oops in 10th. So from
Yes.
there, I kind of kindled my interest in coding, and then in 11th and 12th, I got into C++ because I was PCMC in
Mm-hmm.
Karnataka State. So from there it kickstarted. I just know how to write simple programs. So from there, in engineering, I mainly followed DSA. When I was doing DSA in third sem, I got into this. Like I had a neighbor who shared me Abdul Bari ka DSA course. This was in first year, I guess, and I used to just go and watch simply because whenever I had free time.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I went to doing normal DSA, like lead code and all that when I was start in second year, and then slowly that led into introduced me to platforms like CoachF, and I was not that great at that. When I gave multiple contests and I tried improving on that, but then once I was getting more serious, I got dragged into web dev because I had many projects that required web dev
Mm-hmm.
experience. So I explored web dev for a bit, and then in the middle, so this was the time I got into coding club, and I had some cybersecurity part also. So basically, I went from doing DSA into exploring certain tech stacks for a while, and then building solutions out of it. That is what I practiced a lot, and that I kept looping on that. Like first I learned HTML, CSS properly,
Mm-hmm.
NGS properly, and then I chose one stack which was React, and I explored it properly, and then went into backend a lot. I guess I learned Python, and then uh, I was trying to do some machine learning projects, so I explored many libraries there. So basically, on a need requirement of what was required in that project, I would try to learn the stacks around it. That's how my coding journey evolved, I would say. And then whenever I required a new module to get learned, I would just learn what was the input and output of that, and then just import and learn use that thing in my project.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
guess
think
that is a good approach for anyone to follow. I mean, yeah.
then what online
This is-
resources or platforms you referred or you recommend for the viewers?
you always have standard things, right? Like a bubble sheet, low bubble sheet. I had many people who are pals doing neat code, and they had lead code 150 top problems. I had many people doing daily problems at lead code, and like daily problems at lead code actually was one of the things that I did a lot in my initial days,
Mm-hmm.
and also during my placement prep also. I used to go and solve every daily problem that was posted on lead code for the past 2 months or something. I guess that was really good. Some other resources, maybe. Mm,
That your friend has shared, you told one Abdul something.
I don't know. That course was very basic for understanding DSA. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Was that the
But
paid
then,
course?
yeah, he had downloaded all the videos and had given it to me.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was not good. I mean, and most of the courses, they just talk about the main problem solved. So you can just learn concepts like that when you are solving new problems. Like you get solutions also posted now in lead code like crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
you can learn from that itself.
Or should you
So
take
yeah.
any paid course?
I don't know. I mean, if you need help understanding concepts, like you always have friends who like you'll have some one guy or some group of people in the class whom you can ask them to give their approach of how they understood this.
Mm-hmm.
But like going for a paid course, I don't know. I would say I would not do that
Oh,
because
you had never gone.
no, I was never that guy who will do that. I
Mm-hmm.
used to ask people like, "How bro, how does this work? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why
Good.
is this working?"
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah, those are some resources. I guess I mainly those resources, and I mainly followed lead code daily problems. And because I knew these other resources that people are mentioning, I just told them out here.
Okay. So then, how do you view the difference between joining a startup versus a big corporation for fresh graduates? So, which one to choose, whether it's a startup or a well-established company to join?
Okay, this is a tricky question. So like, you never know. That is the answer at the final, I guess. Uh, it depends on your manager, your team a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so this is what everyone will say. Like, you never know, and then this is, and your manager and your team is what going to is what that's going to decide how your work life balance or whatever will be.
If there
So
is a chance between startup and company, then which one to choose first thing?
choosing a startup over MNC, I mean, it's more of a personal decision, and like you can filter it out via. Most of the times, people just go for the if they want more, component, or they just go for a startup. Like basically, they would have different pay in startup versus MNC. But I guess the process would be very different in startup, and the pace would be very different in startups over MNCs. And then you would get a lot of time to learn and train yourself in MNCs, is what I would say. Whereas in startups, you are more on the ground. Your decisions are monitored, and like they have you get the impact of your decisions very early in
Mm-hmm.
startups, is what I would say. And then it also comes with another added opportunity of growth. Like so, you make good decisions, like you make a lot of good decisions in your startup, and then you're doing good at them at your job. So you'll get your growth very easily. But in an MNC, growth would have a lot of other factors, I would say. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have no experience in working in MNCs, but talking to some people who I know, the growth might be a question. Question in a sense like it would involve some other factors also. But yeah, so this is how it is about startups versus MNC, and
Mm-hmm.
then uh, so work-life balance would again vary with your team, but still, if you want to choose learning and all that, and then you're very curious and very interested, you can go for a startup.
Okay.
But if you want a chilled out life, and then you want to figure out some other things, and then you want to go into uh, uh, some other serious job, then you can go for MNCs and all that.
Okay.
But it's very very wrong to generalize things like this. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is. You get a lot of time in MNCs to learn things. At least I guess is what I've heard. At least in internships.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Okay. So then, what factors made you choose your current company, why, or why did you choose Greenlight? Or else, what did you like in Greenlight? What do you like in Greenlight?
My choice was I was just sitting for the company just because we were allowed to sit, and then and
Okay.
then so and then I like the idea that they were trying to solve, like that you're teaching financial no uh, you're making kids financially smart, and then you're helping them in the process. That is one thing I liked about the company,
Hmm.
about its core value. And the other part is obviously the component, which was much better than what I would have gotten if I would have converted into my uh, if I would have gotten a PPO from my interning company. So yeah, those three things is what I why I chose Greenlight.
Nice. So the last thing is we are at the last of our podcast. So a rapid fire round. Are you excited for this?
Yeah,
Where I'll be asking 10 questions. So you can ask in one word, two words, or one sentence. So whatever that
okay,
comes to your mind. So of course related to technology and your career things. That's it.
sure.
Okay. So in this rapid
Okay.
fire round, my first question is, what is the most challenging interview question that you have faced?
I think it was word ladder from LeetCode. That was the question that was asked during my round at Greenlight. That was the toughest question.
Then, what is the favorite tech tool or software you can't live without?
I would say ChatGPT now. I would not have said ChatGPT,
Mhm.
if I was in college and I was asked this question, but yeah, I would say ChatGPT now.
So, which is your dream company to work for?
Oh, something that I own, I guess.
Great. I was expecting some Google or Amazon, but nice answer. So my next question is, what is the best advice that you have ever received?
I guess it's about trusting the process rather than looking out for what's coming out as an output, and giving everything uh, to the process, giving your all of your efforts to the process, and then not worrying about the result.
Great. Then one word to describe your college experience.
I'll say complete. It was
Complete.
complete. Yeah.
Yes. Great. Then which is your favorite place to hang out in our campus?
I guess it got destroyed in that restructuring. I guess it was amphitheater.
Okay. Then which is
I
your
guess
most memorable college project?
I'd say I was doing one project in some visual computing lab. There was
Mhm.
one lab called visual computing, and that I was doing a project in my second year and
Okay.
third year. That project, I guess it was a project with ABB.
Okay.
Yeah, that project would be the best one.
Then your biggest inspiration in the tech world?
Uh, I would say Apple. How they, I guess this would be most of the people's answers, but like how they grew out as a company and then how they are building out products and brand value right now. I guess that would be an inspiration for me.
Yes. Nice. Then one subject you found toughest in your college life?
Subject I found toughest was compiler design.
Mhm.
I still remember. It's a thing to get through.
In which year, by the way? That was in.
It was in third year on the I guess sixth sem.
Oh, okay.
Was
So one thing about engineering students, people don't realize what is that.
uh, I guess it's about the volume. They are just sick of how much efforts or how much uh, confusions that students might have there when they're figuring out engineering,
Mhm.
and then what they actually want to do in their life.
Mhm.
People just take engineers for granted. They're like, okay, you build technology, so what? And then in an engineering student's life, I guess valuing what they achieve is not always easy for external people who don't actually understand what they did. So that is one thing where people who don't know what's engineering or are not associated to anything related to that kind of don't appreciate a lot.
Mhm. Okay, so we completed our rapid fire. So we are at the end of this episode, the podcast. And before we wrap up, Srinidhi, would you like to share any final tips or advice for our viewers?
I guess a final piece of advice would be to stay calm and patient. Uh, as much as challenges come through in your experiences, I guess
Mhm.
it's important to keep yourself calm and be curious. I guess for everyone, it is to be curious and keep exploring a lot of things. You never know what uh, potential you have, and you never know how much you can actually do. So
Hmm.
if you stay curious and you keep your mind open to possibilities, you can achieve a lot of things. As that's my two lines that I would say for
Yeah,
anyone.
great tip. I think I also should follow that. So we successfully completed our podcast. So thank you, Srinidhi. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for giving your time even in your busy schedule. Your words were truly inspiring, not just for me, but also who is watching this. So thank you once again, Srinidhi. So guys, if you have any questions for Srinidhi, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. And don't forget to share your biggest takeaway from the today's episode. So I'll be sharing Srinidhi's LinkedIn in the description. So if you want to connect with him, you can connect with him. So thank you, Srinidhi.
Thank you so much.